Hi guys, it's John here, and welcome to the first episode of our new film chat podcast, film review channel, whatever you want to call it, Film Chatter and Beers. So, just give you a bit of background about the coming together of this channel itself. It's in association with the guys from Top Floor Films. So, they're basically filmmakers, actors, directors, cinematographers, producers, and they just wanted to basically make a channel, and they wanted me to head it up and be the presenter, which is great. And eventually, as time passes, they will be shot live, so you'll be able to actually see who we are. I'm going to throw up a picture of myself so you know who I am as well. And we will be drinking beer. As I mentioned, it's going to be a bit of a laid back feel to this. It's going to be basically film people talking about films, film reviews. Are also going to be talking about the film industry as a whole and filmmaking in general as well. As I mentioned, they are involved in actually making films, but just to get a bit of insight and a bit of their story of how they go about their production on each day, and rather than just talking about film reviews, just give you a whole overview of the vertical that is filmmaking itself, and a few beers along the way can't really be a bad thing, I suppose. So, as I mentioned, I'm John. I'm going to be the presenter. I'm going to be the head of the first few episodes, especially where we're actually not filming. I'm just going to do voiceover over pictures, just do a film review, just to kick it off, just to get a few episodes going, maybe this way before we actually get into the live filming itself. So to start off the first episode, we're gonna go with the highly hot movie that everyone is talking about, which is '*Malignant*, directed by James Wan. And obviously James Wan, who is the director of Aquaman, he's gone back to his horror roots for such films as Dead Silence, Saw, Insidious, and the Conjuring universe. So just to play out the whole plot of the movies, our main character is Madison, played by Annabelle Wallis. She's pregnant. She's living with her domestic abusive partner. Um, After a crazy incident, he's killed by this evil demon or ghostly figure. Um, Annabelle ends up losing the baby, unfortunately. She's then aided by her sister, to kind of get back to somewhat normality, or if that's even possible. So from there, she begins to have these horrific, horrible dreams about people being murdered, and lo and behold, obviously, they end up happening to be real, happening to be happening in real life. People are being killed. The police are questioning everybody. Is she a suspect? Is she not? Is she crazy? So that's pretty much the setup, to be honest, of the film in itself. Um, it has vibes or similar vibes of pretty much every horror movie from the late 90s to the early noughties. The acting is soap opera at best. It's very over the top. I mean, there's literally one part where there's a one liner that pretty much stink of cheese. And one of the moments is where a character looks down the barrel of a lens and says, "We need to cut out the cancer." Just like that, deadpanned, over the top, soap opera as you expect. But I don't know is if anyone's ever watched a soap opera called EastEnders. This soap opera is big over in Ireland, where I'm from, and in the UK. But they have this theme tune that at the end of every episode, it kind of like almost freezes frame for some sort of cliffhanger, and then the music kicks in. So I just couldn't get this out of my head, where this person is looking down the barrel of the lens and says the line, "We need to cut out the cancer," and then kicks in, boom, 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 boom. And I was like, am I watching a James Wan horror movie here, or am I watching a British soap opera film? And yeah, that's the kind of cheese I was talking about. And I wasn't sure, was it put there on purpose, or was it just bad acting, really? And then with the movie itself, it's not really scary one bit. Like, well, I didn't jump and not many other people jumped in the theater either. It was really, I think people were really, really disappointed, especially with the first two acts, and really how it played out from your traditional, predictable, noughties horror movie was dark, quiet, dark, quiet, jump scare, bloody horror, dark, quiet, dark, quiet, jump scare, bloody horror. And then it's like revealing, main character being questioned, is she crazy, blood, jump scare, and that's pretty much how the first two acts play out, and it is very, very disappointing, as I just mentioned. And I kind of felt that that was the vibe throughout the audience watching the movie. But then, like, a curveball is thrown at the audience in the final act. Like a 1960s Batman slap in the face. Bam, kapow. Yeah, you get the drift what we're talking about. And it's kind of like I'm kind of gobsmacked. It kind of changes it from your your B movie cheesy horror. And I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to give any spoilers. But without giving much away, it basically changes to John Wick on crack. And I mean that in the best possible way. And I was pleasantly surprised by this, as my jaw was on the ground chewing carpet, as I was saying. And I was thinking, what the fuck is going on here? Like, is this a totally different movie? Did like they skip something in the projector? Oh, I know they don't do projectors anymore. You know what I'm getting at. And I was like, did they skip a scene? Did they start a new movie? It's like, what is going on here? So, from the first two acts being predictably cheesy and OTT acting to this like draw dropping finale, just really, I think it took everyone by surprise. Not many people were expecting it. And then once the plot is played out and the movie finishes, obviously reading other forums, listening to other people on social media. Yes, there is movies similar to this, and if I was to tell you what happened, you'd say, "Oh, this is the movie you're talking about. This movie has been done before." But it was a really good turn of pace because you're not expecting this turn in this movie. Um, which is really, really credit to it because you're just expecting after the first two acts to be that predictable end, to be that late '90s, early noughties B movie horror cheese fest. But really kind of turns into that, as I said, John Wick and crack, where it has this '80s kind of also B movie grindhouse horror, and that's a really, really commendable how they end up changing and switching it from that. And I think this may be saying something, but this could be James Wan's most goriest film, and that's saying a lot with the likes of Saw. So it really, really is credit to James Wan um, for just twisting the audience whole expectations. And I must say, I was pleasantly surprised, and I definitely would recommend it to for someone else to go and see, or if it does come out on streaming services down the line. It is something. Just give it time because you will feel you've seen this movie before. It's predictable. At times, it's cheesy. The acting's over the top. You want to turn it off, but please, like, stick it out to the final act. It will pay off. The payoff is what you were waiting for or will exceed expectations. So, in saying all this, after two kind of boring first acts, a really pulsating final, I was going to give it just 2.5 stars, but because of that, I have elevated it to 3.5 stars. So I do recommend people just giving it to the end of the final act before turning it off, basically, or if you get to there before making your final decisions. So yeah, hopefully you enjoyed the movie as much as I did. In saying this, we want to end the podcast or film show. I'm not sure what else to call it YouTube channel, video, whatever people want to call it these days. Want to end the saying there will be obviously more of these coming soon, just with the voiceovers, the pictures. The guys from Top Floor Films will be jumping on with me and we'll be filming it, or we'll be doing it over Zoom to start. But there will be live shows with drinking beer. If you're watching along with us, sometimes have a beer. We're just gonna have a bit of fun, a bit of lay back to these shows, and we just hope you stick along for the ride. Thanks so much. This is John out. Go watch Malignant, directed by James Wan, and like and subscribe, and catch us on the next episode. Peace out.